A tiny bunch of giant conglomerates control the entire world's economy today. Amazon, Meta, Alphabet, Unilever, Disney, Nestle, PepsiCo, Cargill, Alibaba, McDonald's, General Electric. They own a vast number of powerful brands around the world. They deal with billions of customers. This unprecedented concentration of power in the hands of a very few corporations is not an old trend. It goes back by just a few decades, but one man had predicted it about 80 years ago, revolutionary leader Rash Behari Bose.
And I am confident that we are on the threshold of victory.
Thank you for tuning in. This is Ratna. You are watching Empire Diaries. In India, we have major players like Reliance, Adani, Tata, ITC, L&T, Bharti, Mahindra, who dominate the domestic economy. Then take the example of BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. These three asset management companies today literally own corporate America.
We're continuing to evolve, invest, and innovate. We are challenging ourselves and the industry by asking big questions.
They have their footprints in our country too. Because of this extreme centralization of wealth and power, we have vast inequality and extreme poverty.
The rise in billionaires has been, unprecedented. Every 30 hours, a new billionaire was minted during the pandemic.
Simple and localized, decentralized companies are a thing of the distant past. The world economy is now run by a small bunch of powerful trusts and conglomerates.
The future is built by us, by a powerful community.
In 1943, Rash Behari delivered a series of lectures to fighters of the Indian National Army that he had formed. The lectures can be accessed in a new book called Call To Azad Hind, Spirit of India. It was published by Rash Behari Research Institute in Chandanagar, Bengal, with support from the National Archives of India. The lectures were curated by Kalyan Chakraborty, who leads the institute. In one of those lectures about the Indian economy, Rash Behari sent out a chilling warning about the rise of trusts and combines that own a vast number of businesses and control governments. Here is what he grudgingly said about the evolution of imperialist capitalism in India and England at that time.
The recent progress in Indian industry is due to British capital invested in India and also partly due to Indian capital. They were merchants and middlemen who were bourgeois and capitalist class of India. History and past experience taught us that money making always wins in the world of imperialist capitalism. People who make money continue to make more and more money. The next stage in their evolution is the formation of a series of trusts and combines. Finally, they begin to control the state itself. This has been the experience of England, and this will be England's doom.
Take note of one particular sentence he used. The next stage in their evolution is the formation of a series of trusts and combines. Finally, they begin to control the state itself. This is precisely what we are seeing today. A handful of elite trusts and conglomerates have colonized the majority of the world population. They influence government policy and bankroll the top political parties.
And I am confident.
Here is what Rash Behari further said in the lecture about the concentration of corporate power in Bharat at that time.
The same set of people who have money in their possession own the bulk of shares in all the cotton, jute and other concerns. Several such concerns are linked together by a formation of combines. It is estimated that 30 such combines control nearly 400 important concerns in India. Andrew Yule and Company, for instance, manages in part or owns 54 farms spread out in 15 fields, including jute, coal, tea, transport, insurance, and sugar.
He cited Andrew Yule's unregulated corporate power as a sign of things to come. Look at what we have today. Giants like the Tatas, the Adanis, the Ambanis dominate the Indian economy and influence government policy.
India had a flourishing shipping industry which carried Indian-made manufactured goods to outside markets, reaching as far as Rome in the west and China and Japan in the east. Indians excelled in the art of manufacturing tiles, brassware, jewelry, etc. It is worth investigating as to who has been controlling the recent industrial progress in India. When the original industries were crushed, workers and artisans gradually vanished. For the sale of British manufactured goods in India, a class of merchants, brokers, agents, and other middlemen came into existence, and these people made money. Handicraft and skilled artisans disappeared. There was left a vast population of wage earners working in mines, land, and plantations, leading a precarious existence. They were completely at the mercy of moneylenders.
In the lecture series, Rash Behari lamented India's rapid downfall. From a net exporter of goods during pre-British times to a dumpyard of British products. Rash Behari was among a fleet of Indian revolutionaries, including Subhash Chandra Bose, who wanted the British invaders to be evicted. Subhash famously led the second avatar of the INA and outshone the most other revolutionaries. But Rash Behari's focus on the need to fix the economy still remains as his powerful legacy. In the following lines from the same 1943 lecture, he explained that in India at that time, the government was obligated to take good care of the villages. Here is what it said.
The state had to maintain the Indian village economy intact. That's because the state depended on revenue from the villages for its existence. That's why capitalism didn't develop in India as it did in Europe, where the town economy played an important part in the growth of capitalism.
It's a pity that today governments in the global south have left their villages to rot, focusing only on building more cities. Rash Behari also explained how the composition of the labor force was at that time, which has now crumbled completely.
There were two types of industrial workers in India: those who produced the requirements of the village and those who produced for state officials and foreign markets. The former group that catered to village requirements was engaged in rural industry. They came under the village organization. They were public servants under the Indian village social system. They produced mainly for the consumption of the villagers, for which they were remunerated in kind by grain or jagir land. Any excess production found its way into markets during fairs and festivals. The main principle of the ancient Indian village organization was production mainly for consumption. Any profit that came on top of that was incidental.
Rash Behari died in Tokyo in 1945 after forecasting the ballooning problem of concentration of corporate power. Sadly, the Bharat we live in right now is a playground of large conglomerates, and they are only getting fewer, fatter, and stronger. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and on Twitter. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon so that you get notified whenever we publish a report. Stay tuned, stay informed.